Hey, it's Teaspoon Phillips for Maury's Music, and today I'm at the Martin Museum in Nazareth, Pennsylvania with Martin's head of instrument design, Tim Teel, and he's here to talk about an amazing, super cool new guitar that's being debuted at the NAMM show in June 2022.
What is this?
What is this?
Yeah.
This is an amazing Martin guitar. Clearly, let's see if I can guess what it is. It has a CS body shape.
It's an SC body shape.
I beg your pardon.
Yep.
Start that again.
Yep.
SC body shape.
Yep. But it's a CS. It's a custom shop. Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah. So
very clever. Yeah. Regular Bob Hope, this guy. So it's a custom shop, special custom shop edition that's debuting at Summer NAMM, or now this year it's just the NAMM show.
Well, yeah, and it's actually in summer. They moved the Anaheim from January to June. So this is the first time that the Anaheim show will be in June of this year, early June. So, and there will not be a Nashville summer show.
All being combined.
That it's being combined this year.
So bring your swimsuit.
Yeah.
Anaheim in June is going to be awesome. But this is also awesome. Clearly, this is the new modern S shape with the cutaway, and but it's unlike any of the previous models with this new design.
That's correct. So this is the first SC that is coming from Nazareth, and we thought how fitting would it be to have it in the custom shop. So it's a CS-SC, right? So custom shop S body cutaway -2022. So this is available for sale in 2022, and we're going to sell up to about 300 guitars.
Wow.
And we wanted to basically go all out for an SC, and I can go through some of the features if you'd like.
Well, let's start back here, because this is something that is very different. I played an early prototype with this design that featured solid Tonewoods, including East Indian rosewood. Well,
here it is, yeah. So we have East Indian rosewood for the back and sides. We have beautiful maple binding, and on the Nazareth product, we actually found a way to incorporate the binding on the back side of the guitar. Unlike the guitars in our lower price points, they just have a round over. So that's a bit of an upgrade. A small little detail while we're on the back is we do have this grommet that selects the little wrench that goes into loosening the clamping bolt for the Dovetail. And we wanted to mimic the look of this in the upper bolt. So the upper bolt is a custom bolt that we had made for us to complement the grommet
the aesthetics
design.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this linear dovetail neck joint was invented exclusively for this body size, this body design, and it's extremely adjustable. So you can adjust. A technician who knows what they're doing can adjust the not just the action, but you can also adjust the intonation.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So there's a few videos that are going to be made available to the public so that you understand better what's going on. We still advise that folks take it to their dealer to have the setup done properly, but we also recognize that some folks like to fiddle, and it's better to know what's going on than to guess. So on the front block area, there are basically two holes that are easily accessible. The one hole that's straight in the middle of the block is access for the truss rod adjustment for your relief. And then to the far right, there's a little set screw that you see. That set screw is to move the intonation, the nut to the saddle, either a little bit closer or further away. Typically, you want to. Typically, what happens over time, the guitar kind of, collapses a little bit, and so the distance becomes shorter. So you have the ability now to just adjust that slightly to get the intonation to play more in tune with itself.
And also the ability to adjust this with such fine tuning This guitar is an acoustic electric hybrid, a true acoustic electric hybrid. You'll notice it doesn't have a heel, so you have full access to the neck like you would on a traditional electric guitar. Much deeper cutaway. It allows you to keep complete parallel bar chords and jazz chords and rock chords up above where it joins the body. But you can also play it with super low electric guitar action and very light strings, so you can get the full two-step bends, even though it's long scale, and it's a 13-fret neck guitar. So it feels like a short scale because everything's a little closer to your body, even though it still gets long scale string tension. But you can put traditional heavier acoustic guitar strings and have it set up higher if you want to go more like a traditional acoustic guitar.
And this does come stock with light gauge string instead of the extra light.
I was wondering about that when I played it. There's a little more tension.
A little more tension to it. And we're finding that folks like yourself who are more traditional acoustic players, they do prefer a little bit of a heavier string than a beginner. So we figured this is the perfect model to just take it up a notch.
Some muscle in the bends and stuff.
Right.
Absolutely.
A couple other things while we're talking about the neck. This is the first time we're actually doing binding on the neck, so it's a maple binding. And the neck shape itself is a very ergonomically shaped barrel, so that you have in your first couple frets your cowboy chords. You have a little bit more meat down by your finger base, so that gives you a support there, and it allows your thumb to wrap around easier. So if you ever like to do those wraparound chords, it is an easier way to go. As the barrel progresses towards the body, it becomes more symmetrical and then flips the other way, so that when you're down doing lead work, you actually have a little more support for your thumb and more access for your fingers to get around the fingerboard.
It's like a helix.
Yep.
And it is the old vintage necks and similar that inspired the modern deluxe neck has a similar idea, but it's almost kind of the opposite, where that's all really it's similar all the way up. This really does switch. So all of a sudden, once you're up here, again, like you said, it's just ideal for playing far up the frets.
And the great thing is, unless you're told about it, you don't even realize.
That's right. You don't even think about it. It's a neck. You forget completely about the neck. It's just wonderful to play. So the top.
Yes. So this is also the first time on an SC body that we're using a VTS top with Adirondack bracing. So this is very similar to the basics of a modern deluxe. So if you like a modern deluxe, but you want it in a brand new SC platform, this is it. We're using liquid metal bridge pins. These are gold with a pallid dot, so very, very elegant, very beautiful. And what you probably don't know is we also included liquid metal parts into the Dovetail and to the elevation plate. So the Dovetail now is liquid metal on this model only, and the elevation plate that adjusts the neck angle is also liquid metal.
Wow.
So that's a first for this model.
Well, this is fascinating because one of the things liquid metal does is it gives you increased sustain and volume. And it's a type of metallic glass that molecularly has no dampening. So all the energy from the strings go past it without any dampening, which is very different from other kind of materials used for pins. So having it in the neck joint,
it's just more robust at this point. And,
you're going to get more energy.
Some people feel like there's more of a sustain aspect to it.
Well, that's pretty clear. We're not set up for playing. I've done a video for this that will be appearing once the show opens, that you can totally hear that in the acoustic version of it. You can hear the sustain, and you can hear much more in the way of harmonic overtones than you get out of other models with this body sounds.
So in its essence, this is truly a modern take on a very traditional platform of choices for woods, for layouts. We're using X bracing. In fact, the back is also X braced, and that's just
you can see that through the sound hole.
See that through the sound hole. Even the vine, it's a very traditional element, but done in a new way. So it's a modern interpretation of a very traditional element.
Also gorgeous.
The bridge, for instance, too. This is what's called the 1930s style profile. So it's an older, most loved profile of a bridge, but the top of it has a very nice contour to it. So that feels modern, and it feels very smooth.
It doesn't dig in here when you're doing palm muting.
Right. Electronics. So this comes with the new Fishman VT Aura Blend. So when we've stepped into the Aura Blend on the Modern Deluxe, they've also included the Aura HD process, which, think about it like a TV, takes, what you already know is really good and just makes it that much better. It has more clarity to it sonically, and it's more precise. So it's a very, very good Aura system. There's anti-feedback built in for it based on this particular model, and it's voiced to this model. So you have 3 controls. You got a volume, you have a tone on the upper side of the sound hole. The lower side of the sound hole, you have your blend knobs, so you can blend between 100% under saddle pickup to 100% Aura, which is really good for recording. So if you're going to plug into your laptop or any recording device, you get a studio quality setup right off the bat. If you're playing out live, you can blend anywhere in between there, and there's a center detent, so you know when you're 50-50. And at that point, you know, hey, I'm a little bit more under saddle because I want to cut through. Or if you want some more air in the sound, you can go a little bit heavier on the Aura side of the blend. So it's
cool.
Very nice. Yeah.
The sound enhancements, acoustically and electrically. You also have gold EVO frets that reduce fret wear, and matching gold hardware that's vintage looking. So again, this is really, not really, I'll just call it the SC Modern Deluxe.
Well, those are brand new Waverleys with the high ratio.
Ooh.
So 21 to 1.
Oh wow,
yeah.
high ratio tuning, tuning machines, and gorgeous, gorgeous from head to toe, exclusively for the NAMM show, and they're going to take orders. No, go ahead.
We did forget about the newest patent for this guitar.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah. So we have achieved the patent for the neck joint design. We're calling that Sure-Align, which means that the neck has a dovetail that is a clamping dovetail, which makes the neck modular, but it still uses the dovetail for the attachment point. That was patented when we first introduced the SC-13. Along the way, we were experimenting with a way to get even more sound out of the guitar, and what we developed was an internal soundboard recurve. And it's a little bit of an asymmetrical design that you can't see from the outside, but on the inside there's a slight area that is thinned out a bit so that we get a little more top movement in the area that we want. So it's a very targeted type of relief.
Sounds like a 1930s arch top.
Yeah, sort of, right.
The way they carved out the arch tops.
Yeah.
And also the tone tension bracing that was originally.
That's correct.
So there's a radius to the bracing. This is, I don't know how much, this is trade secret, but the way the bracing is glued down, it infuses extra tension in the bracing,
right,
making it
more
sensitive and more sensitive to so you can play lighter and get more out of it. So really super cool model. We are actually recording this way before the show because I happen to be here doing some Maury's music videos and of the 2022 models, and we had to talk about this, and we'll keep it under a hat so you guys will see this later on. One more time, what are you calling this?
Okay,
model?
so the nomenclature is simply CS for custom shop dash SC for the body shape and cutaway, and then dash 2022. So it rolls off the tongue very easily. It's a CS-SC-2022.
Gorgeous. Well, thanks very much. I look forward to getting the okay to start telling people about this.
Yeah, it should happen soon. We're getting close to June.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks very much. Tim Teel, Martin Guitars for Maury's Music. I'm Spoon Phillips. See you later.